And of course, I need to plug in my phone because my phone's only on 11%. And we have plenty of time to charge it for this live review, but I had to have a badass music, a badass song for my entrance night because, once again, some woman tonight showed why she is an absolute badass. Both her look, especially when she has some blood on her face, even though hopefully she's okay, because obviously she may have had a broken nose. But also because when they go out with her, just don't book her like a coward, of course. You can make her be a total badass. And that's what we got from that ending episode of Raw. We also had a moment on Raw that could have visually photographed what exactly the rest of the show could be, pretty much, for the most part. Well, I'll give it some credit tonight. Well, first off, what's going on, guys? As always, this is the Club with the Man 1993 coming at you. This is my live review for Monday Night Raw, the November 12th, 2018 edition that took place in Kansas City, Missouri. Shout out to my mother, because today's my mother's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom, but you're still an old bag. Sorry, I had to be a little mean there for a second. But, yeah, so tonight's episode of Raw, once again, took place in Kansas City, Missouri, and it was the go-home show for Survivor Series. And I know we're already having another go-home show. We've had how many go-home shows in the past few weeks? As we had the go-home show for Evolution about 2 weeks ago. We had the go-home show week after that for Crown Jewel. I'm sorry, 3 weeks ago it was Evolution. 2 weeks ago it was Crown Jewel. And then this week we've got the go-home show for Survivor Series. So only a 2-week bill for Survivor Series, which sucked, but WWE once again had to do Crown Jewel. So glad that pay-per-view is done with and over with, and we don't have to ever talk about it again. Well, maybe we will, because we'll get to the end of the year videos. But we'll of course get to those, some other time. But we're of course here live to talk about that. That's Monday Night Raw again. I've already said how many times we're going to be. Overall, I'll give it credit. There actually was some stuff on the show I did enjoy. I thought it deserved, a passable grade, I felt, in my opinion, for this episode of Raw. There was definitely some stuff I did not like. Don't get me wrong, especially that first hour. That first hour was garbage. That ending, though, freaking awesome, except for a couple little things I want to nitpick at. Well, they're not nitpicks. They're reasonable picks, pretty much. We had, of course, we got some words tonight out of the Ambrose Asylum, pretty much. And he decided to burn it down, if you know what I mean. Of course, we got the beast of that lazy-ass mother. Just kidding. And we also, of course, got a friendly reminder of what we almost got last year. But, of course, we'll talk about that all again in this live review. If you're live in the live chat, as always, please sure to leave your comments in the comment section. Before I check the live chat, I must ask also, guys, how did it feel having the overrun taken away? Because tonight's episode of Raw, I heard over the weekend, and it did happen, but Raw is no longer doing an overrun. It's no longer going to 11:05, 11:10, because once again, stupid. Why do you have to do? Did they really have to do that in the first place? I heard rumors it was because of, Raw coming after WCW and them overlapping or whatnot back in the days. But once again, WCW's been dead since 2001? So why has this overrun still been going on for 17 years, But I'm glad that they took it out because honestly, made the show feel very refreshed somewhat. I think that's no reason why I was able to, kind of breathe this in. I knew when the show was coming to an end. And also, again, some stuff actually felt like it meant something. So that's why I gave Raw a decent grade, I thought, tonight for the most part. So I have 2 polls going on Twitter, of course. I won't say what they are now. Well, of course, one's obviously what grade. The other one is another question that I will, of course, mention at the end of this review. So, live chat. Who do we got? We've got nobody. We've got nobody at all whatsoever. That just sucks. But you know what? I'm sure that will change later on in the stream. But let's get started talking because I actually have to get up at a decent time tomorrow morning. So I am going to get started with this live review. First, we get a package opened up celebrating Veterans Day, which, of course, technically, yesterday was Veterans Day, but since Veterans Day fell on a Sunday, we are celebrating it today since it's on a Monday. So since it's Monday, so happy Veterans Day to you all once again. Thank you, of course, as always, to all those who have definitely, supported us and fought for us in our country and whatnot. So we thank you all. Now, originally, we were supposed to open up, and first I'm like, oh, this is nice. For once, Raw doesn't have an overrun, so maybe the one thing that I had to take out was the opening 20-minute corporate promo we get every single freaking week to open up the show. Like, oh, maybe this is showing us signs that we really are going to do a change. So we're opening up with a Battle Royale. A freaking Battle Royale to determine who the team captain was going to be for the Raw Tag Team Elimination match at Survivor Series. Not just, the 5-on-5 men's. No, we're not talking about the 5-on-5 women's. We're talking about the 10-on-10 match between the tag teams. Which is, once again, Raw's tag team division is just absolute garbage. They have the bodies in there to put on a good tag team. I mean, Lucha House Party could be a pretty good tag team. Bobby Roode was a heel. Him and Chad Gable, well, I'm sure they wouldn't be a team, but they still have potential to be a good team if booked better. Shoot, what was going with this? The Revival, with how great they're in NXT, should be a great tag team, and nope. Slayer and Rhino, meh. Actually, who is going to be the final team? I can't remember if it's going to be Slayer and Rhino or it's going to be the Ascension of the final team. Of course, we have the B team also. So actually, we have one extra tag team in there. So I'm not sure who is going to be all in the match. I actually got to take a look at the card. Well, of course, we'll talk about that later on this week. But anyway, so the Battle Royale was going on. All of a sudden, we hear Braun's music hits. And I don't know about you guys, but are you guys getting a little sick of Braun Strowman coming out like during these like tag team battle royal, like something involving the tag team division, and Braun Strowman just comes out and wreaks havoc? Yes, I get what they're trying to do, but he does it to the tag team division all the time. How many more segments are you going to do where you literally just expose the fact that, hey, this whole division is absolute trash? We know it sucks, and we're going to let y'all know it does. Because Braun comes out and just wreaks havoc and just destroys everyone in this battle royale. He then sits down on a chair and gets on the microphone. He says, tonight's episode of Raw is brought to you by the Monster Among Men. And he says he's done chasing Corbin around. He's not leaving the ring until the acting GM gets these hands. So out comes Stephanie McMahon. And I will give credit tonight that, those who know me know that when Stephanie McMahon appears on TV, I'm just like, oh, God, like, not this again. Tonight, I actually didn't do that because I thought she did bearable work. I felt like she was reasonable. And yes, again, I know she, well, once again, this is her being like, a tweener this week, not showing like, showing like, being a heel at some points, a face at some points, but I didn't feel like it was overexposed. Again, when she's just going there every single week, just bashing everyone left and right, doing the same thing only in her comments, as I keep saying, that's when I'm like, this is the same old crap. Get off my TV. No, I actually did appreciate the promo work she did tonight. I will give her that credit. So she came out and she says, I know you're upset, Braun, after what Corbin did at Crown Jewel, and but she can't let him hold Raw hostage. She appreciates the aggression and rage, but Strowman needs to channel in what's really important: Survivor Series. Her brother Shane insulted the entire locker room when he stole the World Cup, and is he going to let this Shane pretty much disrespect him? But then Braun just gets up and interferes and says, and I shall repeat, I don't give a damn about Shane or representing Raw at Survivor Series. Stephanie then says that he and everyone on the roster better give a damn. And Strowman says he knows all the corporate types looked at him like a mindless meat castle, which I'm just like, okay, no. Don't even get me started with those weird stuff. But he knows when he's being manipulated, and she needs to bring Corbin out now to take care of it. She offers a business proposal that they each get what they want. You take care of business with Team Raw to victory on Sunday, and you can have whatever you want. and pretty much rattling everything off. But then he's like, no, I don't care about planes or trains or all this other crap you're talking about. He wants another Universal title shot against Brock Lesnar. Stephanie agrees, but he has more requests. He wants to also have a match with Baron Corbin, and he wants to pick the stipulations for both matches. And Stephanie says, sure. And Strowman has one more proposition. He wants a waiver so that he's not responsible for what he might do to Corbin. Stephanie says that might take time, but it is doable. But he can have all this as long as he keeps his hands off of Corbin until after Survivor Series. Braun says he better get what he wants or he'll go to WWE headquarters and destroy the whole building, which would be a bad idea, honestly. Stephanie says she's trying to be transparent and encourage everyone to fight for Raw. Men, women, and then Ronda Rousey comes out. I'm like, oh boy. Is Stephanie going to once again just act like she's Ronda's best friend and, get her arm broken off again? But Ronda came out. Stephanie tries to give her an introduction, but Ronda yanks the mic away and tells her to save the pep talk, and nothing she can say or offer would make her more motivated than she already is. And she's been waiting for a challenge like Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch. Since she came here, she can't wait to show the man how it's really done. Or maybe she doesn't have to wait. She advances on Stephanie, but then Corbin comes out. He says everybody needs to take a deep breath, and he's with Stephanie. They need to focus their aggression on SmackDown. And like Stephanie, he's here to help motivate Raw talent, blah, 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 of course. They can't afford to be embarrassed again. It's a must-win situation. But then he puts his hand on Ronda's shoulder. And when he did that, Ronda gave him this look. I'm like, Ronda, break his arm. All she did, though, was a judo throw on him. But it would have been nice to see her put Corbin in an arm lock. Ronda goes to leave, and then Corbin's yelling at her. But then he turns around. Strowman's like getting into his face. And then like Stephanie gets in between him and yells at Corbin to shut up and do not provoke him. Braun tells him to enjoy his time as Stephanie's lapdog because after Survivor Series, he's getting neutered, which those terms would actually be a little bit funnier to me if I knew it wasn't Vince doing his toilet humor. Because I'm like, come on, Vince, like really, you're gonna have Braun Strowman threaten to neuter somebody. I mean, yes, of course you can't say, you want to cut your balls off and whatnot on live TV or whatnot, but really neutered like that. That just it doesn't sound like something that Braun Strowman would say. But this whole big segment again, I wasn't a fan of the fact that they have one. Of course, it was pretty much them just like act like, oh, we're gonna give you a wrestling match, but we're gonna give you that 20-minute opening promo, which I was like, here we go again. So I wasn't a fan of like Braun interrupting another battle royal, making a tag team look pointless once again, even though we got the rematch again later on in the night. They start to try it again. I thought the business between Braun and Stephanie was reasonable. I wish Ronda would have put Corbin in an armbar, but this wasn't a bad opening promo. Now I kind of wish they would have tried teasing, Braun and Corbin a little bit more, like Corbin trying to manipulate Braun, or like Braun reminding Corbin like, hey, behave yourself, or else bad things going to happen to you before Survivor Series and whatnot. But outside that, but again, not a bad opening promo, but again, it's the fact that they literally just interrupted a battle royale just because, again, it's just making this tag team look like crap. I'm just like, well, whatever. But we had that opening promo. We then have, oh gosh, Ember Moon taking on Tamina with Nia Jax in her corner. Why is Ember Moon jobbing out now just to both Nia Jax and Tamina week after week after week after week after week after week now? And now the fact that you have two of the worst people on the microphone and someone like Nia Jax, who, no offense, each week, one week she's a babyface, next week she's a bully, or tonight, one segment she's a bully, next segment she's a babyface. Bully, babyface, bully, babyface, bully, good girl. You can't get it right. The inconsistency with her character is just really exposing, especially with this heel turn. and Tamina beats Ember Moon. They win, and I literally just didn't give a crap at all whatsoever. You're just having Ember Moon job out to Tamina and Nia, two of the most, not some of the strongest candidates on roster. But of course, they're both Samoan. And again, no offense, once again, I keep saying, but I know Roman Reigns is sick, but just because Roman Reigns is sick does not mean you have to give all the Samoans who you've over pushed everything in the world, such as giving them spots on the Survivor Series women's tag team match. We'll get to that towards the end of this review, of course. But oh my gosh, I am. Let's put it this way: I am not happy at all with Team Raw for the women. And I'll explain why, of course, towards the end. Now, SmackDown seemed not bad, but of course, we'll continue on. Of course, afterwards, Nia Jax then just beats down on Ember Moon for no reason. Obviously, I'm not going to say it, but it's just her sending a message to Ronda Rousey. She knows she can't beat Ronda Rousey, so that's why she's teamed up with Tamina. We then get a video package covering what's been going on with Seth Rollins the last month or so, ever since Dean Ambrose stabbed him in the back. So we had an exclusive interview in the ring with Corey Graves talking to Seth Rollins. First, he was talking about the champion versus champion match at against Shinsuke Nakamura Survivor Series. Rollins says it's going to be a hell of a fight, but to be honest, right now he doesn't give a damn about Nakamura. Graves puts over to Danger that Shinsuke presents over, and Seth says when the bell rings, he's going to be laser focused, but that's on Sunday. First off, I honestly would be a lot more excited for this Rollins and Nakamura match. It could be pretty darn good, but as I keep saying before, this is not the megastar, the god we got in NXT, Shinsuke Nakamura. This is some other type of Shinsuke Nakamura who literally just, rarely appears on SmackDown with the U.S. title, shows up, has a 5-minute match, and that's it. Honestly, I give this definitely, like a year or so ago, I could say this was a dream match for me. Nakamura and Rollins, it could be a hell of a match. But of course, it's not the same Shinsuke Nakamura. But again, I'm sure, Rollins, with how good he's been doing this year, well, when he's booked right, not as, not as Roman Reigns pound puppy, pretty much, I'm pretty sure, these two can still pull off a pretty good match. So I'm still looking forward to this match on Sunday. But anyways, Rollins says that he wants answers tonight. He wants to know why Dean Ambrose did what he did. Corey Graves reminds him that they've known Dean Ambrose for a long time, and he doesn't like to use words. But Rollins says he's not dumb. He's just not man enough to come out and tell him to his face. Gets a little quiet, but then, Graves says when he sees something behind him, he turns around, and on the Titantron is Dean Ambrose sitting on a car next to a trash can with a fire inside, and contests that idea about him being man enough, saying he's not going to explain because he doesn't owe anyone anything. These people want to come up to him on the street with no manners, call him names, and spit on them with their, "Why, Dean? Why turn your back on your brothers?" So I can imitate the way he did it on Raw. He guess the architect doesn't have all the answers this time. Maybe you're wondering, I shouldn't have treated him like an umbilical, or maybe something changed. Or maybe Ambrose was the same guy this entire time, and Rollins was too selfish to see it. Dean tries out admitting that maybe he regrets his actions and he feels remorse, and maybe they can forgive him one day, but that's not the case. He's used to think being in the Shield made him strong, but the truth is, he claims that the Shield made him weak. Seth Rollins made him weak. Roman Reigns made him weak. The burden of watching their backs made him weak. But every day, it's a new day, baby. That was King D, didn't say that. A chance, of course, to take the past, and then he takes a bottle of gasoline, and he just oozes out and just splashes all this gasoline on his Shield vest he had in his hand. And he pretty much said, a chance to take the past and burn it down. And he tossed it into that fire in that trash can. Seth, of course, throws the microphone, storms up the ramp. Of course, Michael Colton goes on to ask Renee Young again, what's going on with Dean? She says it's his story to tell, but to her, she's talking in riddles and not making any sense, pretty much. Which, once again, I just, as I keep saying, I'm starting to think that Renee Young's not bad on commentary. I'll give her credit. She's not the greatest, but I find her acceptable on commentary. Honestly, they need to put her on SmackDown because I'm just kind of getting tired and it's starting to get to me this awkwardness with Renee Young, like being quiet during a Dean Ambrose segment, but then being asked segments like this, and basically what we're getting out of it is Ambrose is not being a good husband to Renee Young. What it looks like when it comes across, like that's the weird part. But of course, I still like this promo. Of course, my funny analogy was, and I saw someone post like a meme on this. Ambrose sits in the car and it says Raw Superstar, which to me, once again, Ambrose is one of the few things now holding up the show. Heel Dean Ambrose is Monday Night Raw, period. And the trash can with the fire, well, that's just raw creative right there, guys. And that's what I thought altogether. I'm like, can Ambrose just literally burn down and create a team of Raw? Especially at this point, again, I wasn't a big fan of that first hour, especially that Tamina and Ember Moon match. We can delete that one, but that's probably not going to happen. But yeah, I mean, it still feels like, though, there's more to this that Dean Ambrose hasn't spilled yet. Like, more just the fact that he just feels the Shield made him weak. Like, I feel like there's more to come. There's more to come to this. And again, what I've liked that, they're slowly building this up. They're not giving us the big giant leap every single week. First week, Dean Ambrose won't talk. Next week, he's like, you want to know why? He still won't say why. The following week, he starts to explain. But once again, leaving us feeling like there's more to come. They're like, okay, that's it. Now let's have them fight. Like, that's it. I feel like there's a little bit more that we need to learn from this. That there's more to this story that Ambrose hasn't shared yet. And I cannot wait to see what's in store for us when we get back. Of course, next week, of course, could we see Ambrose interfering in the mid-card champion versus mid-card champion match this Sunday against Rollins and Nakamura? It's quite possible, I think. But we'll have to wait and see. Will we finally maybe see Dean get some new theme music? Because I mean, I do like his theme music, Retaliation, but to me, it doesn't fit him as a heel. I feel like they have to have something a little bit more dominating for a heel for him. But yeah, so far the Dean Ambrose heel turn, it's going pretty good. I gotta give it a thumbs up so far. But that was that segment. Let's go back and check the chat of live, or as I call it, the live chat. See what we've got here. We've got Bowl of Eyes. What's up, Bowl of Eyes? Hoping SmackDown wins at Survivor Series. Oh my goodness. I am just with the teams we have so far. Well, the men's 5-on-5, not bad teams. The women's, I hate. The tag team one, screw that. Thank God it's on the pre-show. I'll talk about that later. I'm very happy they put that 10-man tag match for Survivor Series between the tag teams. I'm so glad they put that on the pre-show. Shoot, I'm trying to remember. Let's see. Yeah, I'm definitely hoping SmackDown just squashes Raw pretty much this year. Braun pretty much buried the tag division. Who hasn't buried the tag division at this point? Cody had Atasia said, just if I mispronounced it, I'm sorry. I also got that Nakamura had the U.S. title. Didn't we all? Dean obviously didn't forget what Seth did a few years ago. That too. He could pretty much say that too. But of course, with Dean Ambrose, again, he's not going to say everything right away. And of course, too, also, if Dean promos ever don't make sense, that still fits him to begin with in general. But again, that promo was great. We got Lauren. What's up, Lauren? She says she never gets notification when I go live. That is weird. Probably just click on the notification bell maybe to do so. Dean's segment was great indeed. Told you Alexa team was predicted. Oh yeah, we'll get into that shortly. What's with Gable and Rude? They're jobbing. Yeah, again, they're a team, but once again, as I call them, they're team too happy. So I don't really care. Tamina, really? Oh yeah. Survivor Series needs to have Orton and Jeff. Yeah, I understand, why was Orton not even, in a match, to qualify for Survivor Series, but Orton's been in the first two already. I kind of understand they want to give someone else something, like a different, like someone else the opportunity, which I guess, but I do wish they would have at least had him in one of the qualifying matches. I felt for Survivor Series. Jeff, wouldn't have mind Jeff either. She clicks the click notifications, okay, and then just what did Steph talk about? Steph basically came out and just pretty much, because Braun Strowman again hijacked the show at the beginning. Was the tag team battle royale, but then he hijacked it, just squashed everyone out of there, saying he wasn't going to do anything until Corbin came out. But Steph pretty much came out, made a deal, said, if you, can just, stay on the same page and be a team player till after Survivor Series, that you can get whatever you want, pretty much. That's what she basically said. She didn't really talk much about Shane. She was originally supposed to come tonight to address, Shane McMahon winning the World Cup, which I'm kind of glad she didn't really focus on that too much, because Shane kind of, spoke up last week and admitted, hey, I am not the best in the world, but I did what I did because my brand was suffering due to an injury, and I just did what I had to do because I appreciate this brand very much. So, like, again, I appreciate that cover up, but yeah. Again, Stephanie acted more so of like a tweener tonight, but I'm pretty sure after Survivor Series, though, they're going to go back to making her a full-fledged heel again, pretty much just, doing the crap that I can't stand she does. But again, the stuff she did tonight, completely cool with. If they book her like this, I don't mind her being on my TV, pretty much. But thank you for the stuff in the live chat, guys. And then we get a recap of what happened last week with Drew McIntyre defeating Kurt Angle. Although I didn't like how they were just like, oh, it's just an uncomfortable match to watch. It's like, it was a good match. And yes, McIntyre played some mind games with Angle. And yes, he beat Angle with Angle's own ankle lock and whatnot. But I don't think it was that uncomfortable to watch. I felt like that was a little bit over dramatic there. Little nitpick there. But anyway, so at first Kurt Angle's theme song plays, and we're like, "Oh, Kurt's here." But then they hit the and Dolph Ziggler's music hits. So I'm just like, okay, that's a reasonable time to play that screech when something like that happens, but not all the time. So Dolph comes out, and then Drew McIntyre comes out behind him. They get in the ring, taking the atmosphere before Drew starts saying that when he first showed up on Raw, he told us he was going to take over. Do we believe him now? Which he pretty much has for the most part. First, he broke the Shield, which I still say did not happen because the Shield broke themselves. And then he broke Kurt Angle. Last week, Angle came in an icon and a national treasure. When he finished, he was nothing more than an embarrassment. Angle gave him everything he had, but you know what he said? What he saw in Angle's eyes? He saw his win fading, realizing that he was in the ring with a superior man and tried to fight, crawl on his knees and hands. But then what happens? He starts crying. Drew's never been more disgusted in his entire life. He was more than happy to humiliate Kurt and put him down with his own ankle lock. And he's worked for 18 long years to earn this moment. The highest of highs and lowest of lows. And look into his eyes. Raw is his show now. If it belongs to him, and he'll mold it in his image. Pretty much, he said. No more room for weakness. No more nostalgia acts. It's the rule of the jungle, pretty much. As, he's pretty much saying he feels he rules the show. Well, I think you're close, but I still think Dean Ambrose, of course, is ruling this show now. Out came Finn Balor, who last week, McIntyre randomly came out to save Balor from Bobby Lashley, and he attacks Balor, which was not believable. Like, okay, why would McIntyre come out to save Finn Balor like that? I thought that was stupid. Balor came out. McIntyre says he's got a lot of guts coming out here, and then Balor says that's right. But listening to him talk about what he did to Kurt was too much for him to sit back and listen. He claimed Drew crossed the line. He could have just beaten Angle. He didn't have to humiliate him. McIntyre then just blatantly tries to apologize and bend down to look Finn in the eyes and tell him dignity isn't a right. He didn't save him from Lashley out of some kind of European pride. Finn's so concerned about his emotions, it makes him sick. So go cry to the Balor Club, and maybe he about to stay too sweet. Then Balor tells him to shut up.
He's been dealing with bullies like him his whole life. So why not have a match right here, right now? McIntyre says he doesn't know if Finn's feelings or body are more tragic, but if he wants a match, he's got it, but not with him. He's going to have a match with the man who is the true best in the world, which, again, no offense, Dolph, you're awesome, but I don't think you're the best in the world. But he's having a match with Dolph. Dolph looks confused as Drew continues saying that he'll consider lowering himself to Balor's level if he beat Dolph. So then Ziggler and Balor start, just jawing at each other, and McIntyre headbutts Balor, which then leads us to this match between Dolph Ziggler and Finn Balor. So I thought first they were going to go with a Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman feud after Survivor Series and Crown Jewel, but I don't know if they're going with that now since Braun didn't win the Universal Championship. They might be teasing more of a Drew McIntyre and Finn Balor feud, which I'd be fine with that as well. But Dolph and Finn, I thought, actually put on a pretty good match. McIntyre tried getting involved a couple times, but Balor took them both out, making, of course, Balor look, awesome when you let him go all out and, make him look like one of the best in the ring. Towards the end of the rope, though, Balor goes to at the end of the match, Balor goes for a coup de grace, but he lands awkwardly on his knee, it looked like. And it looked like, Ziggler was about to get the win, but then Balor reversed it. Awkward looking pin, but he pins Dolph for the win. Again, the pin looked a little bit awkward. But again, Balor won the match, and again, I thought it was a pretty good match. Even though, again, Dolph Ziggler has, been eating pins a lot lately, it feels like. I still thought these two put on a pretty good match. You give them the time, give them the place. These two can work very well together, Balor and Ziggler. So again, they're probably set up a future match between McIntyre and Balor down the line. Again, it could be a TLC, maybe, who knows, or we could be still getting a Strowman and McIntyre. I think eventually, though, we will get a Strowman and McIntyre, unless, let's say, since Braun Strowman says he wants one more shot at Brock Lesnar and he gets to pick the stipulations, which, okay, a stipulation, of course, would work very well for that match. Of course, that way we can finally, hopefully just end this brief, reign of terror already with Brock Lesnar getting the Universal title back, and then maybe he'll win at the Royal Rumble, and then McIntyre will defeat Strowman at WrestleMania for the Universal title if they don't go a route where Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose will be fighting over the Universal title down the line. Who knows? But if they want to have Strowman and McIntyre at WrestleMania for the Universal title and McIntyre wins there, awesome. They can have McIntyre win the Royal Rumble for all I care. But that's, of course, that match, again, I thought it was pretty good. Backstage, Stephanie McMahon congratulates Balor for standing up for what he believes in and says she wants him on a Survivor Series team. Finn accepts. Corbin wants to discuss it in private, and an angry Drew McIntyre rolls up to pretty much just tell off Balor. But Stephanie tells him he can't hurt his teammate and gives both him and Dolph a pep talk, saying she wants Drew to do what McIntyre did to Kurt. They don't have to like each other, but they do have to respect each other. But after they win, however, they can feel free to tear each other apart pretty much. We didn't get a recap also of Becky Lynch's promo from last week, followed by Ronda Rousey's interview backstage, saying she wasn't trying to mock. She was just trying to point out how ridiculous her threats are. Ronda can't believe she has to point out all this is, and says that Becky is better at dishing it out than taking it. She's not just the man, but the millennial man, at which point she busts out a lot of stereotypes and says being offended doesn't make Becky right. Every fan she got has watched her sweat from every ounce of her respect, and she didn't pour her heart and soul into changing the meaning of fight like a girl so the leader of the women's evolution could call herself the man. And then, of course, Nia Jax and Tamina were up to wish her luck, but they didn't, attack her or anything, which I thought they were going to, because, they're heels right now. They just wish her luck. So for a second, Nia Jax is a babyface again, in my opinion. Then we had the Riot Squad make their way out. And I literally posted on Twitter, since 2018 is almost over, in 2019, I want to see WWE just 1 week, whether they're on Raw or SmackDown, not have a Riot Squad match. Well, we didn't have one tonight, but we had more so just a promo. A pretty good promo, I gotta say, by Ruby Riott, who I will continue to say needs to be on her own. She does not need Liv Morgan, the purple tongue blonde, well, true blonde, but she's actually pink haired. She does not need the Viking Sarah Logan, or what's called, which, by the way, her wedding's coming up to Row of the War Raiders. So congratulations, Sarah and Row. But she doesn't need them by her side. She can do this all by herself. She does not need them. But Ruby, and also you don't need that second T, Ruby. Ruby wants to address her actions last week. We rotate what happens with her breaking Jim the Anvil Neidhart's sunglasses. She says when she broke them, she struck a nerve with not just Natty, but the entire WWE universe. And having a week to think about it, she completely understands the backlash she's gotten. Let's face it, Jim was a future Hall of Famer, this badass powerhouse with the most infectious laugh. And a moment, she took all those happy memories and turned them into nightmares. Not only that, but she humiliated Natty in front of the whole worldwide audience. Seem remorseful, but then you see that slight little smile. And she just says she enjoyed every second of it. She didn't take it far enough. Sarah, Liv, and her have scratched and clawed for everything. And last week, she wanted Neidhart to feel real emotion and brawl and bawl like a baby. And that's exactly what happened. In that moment, it all made sense. It clicked as to why Jim wore the glasses. It was because he was ashamed to look up at his own daughter. He had to shade himself from pretty much her. But then out came Natty. Her music hit, but then she came in from behind and started mounting punches. But then Morgan and Logan made the save. Sarah gets the bear hug, but then the heart attack was hit pretty much on her. So I mean, if they wanted to just a Ruby and Natalya feud, just one-on-one with them, like, I'm cool with that. I mean, especially with Ruby's actions last week. But once again, if it's the Riot Squad around them, it's like, I just don't care because they're just overbooked pretty much, whatnot. And again, just Logan and Morgan, again, just do absolutely nothing for me. That's why, again, Ruby Riott needs to be on her own and have one T in her name once again, as I keep saying. But that was that. So that was, I mean, the promo by Ruby's, again, I always put over how great Ruby's promo skills are. But again, this whole Riot Squad concept, get her on her own. Again, I will only care about a Riot Squad match if it leads to the Riot Squad splitting up. Because that's what needs to happen. Especially since we have how many heels now on the Raw women's roster. Could use another babyface, and Ruby Riott, of course, work great as a babyface in NXT. But who knows? We then had the redo of that tag team battle royale. It was Beauty and the Man Beast, Team Too Happy, the Lucha House Party, the Ascension, the B Team, and the Revival. So once again, which one of these teams aren't going to be put into this match? They have the rematches. They didn't get the finisher earlier, and then Bobby Roode and Chad Gable win by last eliminating the Ascension. So they're going to be captain of Team Raw in the Tag Team Survivor Series tag team match, which is going to take place on the pre-show, which I think definitely should. I don't care about this match at all, and I'm glad they're actually going to put the cruiserweights on the main show. Buddy Murphy and Mustafa Ali, again, as I keep saying, have had excellent matches this year, and especially their last match, which was a no DQ match. Excellent. I hope they give them a good 15 minutes, I'd say, for their match on Sunday at on 205 Live. Again, it's gonna be a pretty good match. Well, at Survivor Series, I'm sorry, not 205 Live, but Survivor Series. Again, that match is gonna be awesome. And I'm glad, again, they're getting the main card and not the freaking pre-show. The right match is on the pre-show. There's a pointless 10-man tag match, elimination match. Again, don't care about it at all. Hopefully, SmackDown squashes Raw. Then we got this lazy mother. Brock Lesnar comes out with Paul Heyman. Paul does his usual intro and says no one deserves congratulations more than Brock. But they'll dole some out anyway. So congratulates Braun Strowman for proving he's an almost unbeatable monster, except when getting hit by 5 F5s. Also, for Braun worming his way back into the title picture with hardball negotiations. Congratulations to SmackDown for avoiding the beating that will be handed out to the WWE Champion AJ Styles on Sunday. Congrats to AJ, who the fans believe has a fighting chance based on what he did last year at Survivor Series, which is true. I believe he has a fighting chance. He probably won't win, though, but I'm going to be rooting for him left and right on Sunday. Well, AJ is going to fly into LA on Sunday, check in, go up to the top of the suite, mark Suplex City, and take the beating coming his way. Based on how close he came to winning last year, there's no one WWE or UFC Brock wants to get his hands on more. No one he wants to take Suplex City more. No one he wants to F5 more. No one that Lesnar wants to beat more than AJ Styles, which means this Sunday, Suplex City F5 1, 2, 3. Your winner, the champion of all champions, Brock Lesnar. And that's not a prediction, guys. That's a spoiler. Which, again, I hope is the opposite because I don't want Brock to win. There's no point in winning. AJ could use this more. AJ could be like the better champion if he beats the hell out of that lazy-ass part-timer I just can't stand anymore. But then we get this. Guess who came out next? The man that Brock Lesnar was originally supposed to face at Survivor Series last year. Jinder Mahal comes out with the Singh brothers, which, bear in mind, one of them was not there last week. I don't know why. But they were both there tonight. He addresses Mr. Heyman, saying he respects his goal in making his client a two-sport champion, but offers some advice. Do not underestimate AJ Styles. Last year at Survivor Series, he was focused on the dream match he had against Brock, and that focus gave AJ a chance to steal his title and take the match he wants. So he's here as a friend to show the Beast his mantra so he can focus. Of course, Heyman's doubtful and mocking him, but gives Lesnar his decision. Brock pretty much says, sure, let's do this. So Mahal comes in and says Heyman should really hear this because he's Jewish, which that's what Brock said to Heyman. He should hear this because he's Jewish, which again I don't think I might get it. Jinder approaches and tells Lesnar does his stupid Shanti, but then Brock barely did it. He then goes after the three of them. He hits several suplexes on the Singh brothers. And honestly, it was stupid. But the funniest part about this whole thing was Michael Cole on commentary screaming out, Shanti, Brock, Shanti, pretty much. So this little happening. It's like Michael Cole's like freaking out, like, go tomorrow, telling them to calm down. I mean, he probably still has nightmares whenever Brock just wreaked havoc on the night after WrestleMania 31. But he just started freaking out, going, Shanti, Brock, Shanti, pretty much. So then he does that, and Jinder's just chilling outside. And then Brock goes outside of the ring, F5's Jinder on the floor, and then he leaves. Basically, in my opinion, this little segment was just a reminder that, hey, you could have had this match last year, and you guys liked the match we got, so we'll give it to you again. With a guy that we all know you hate as champion, but we put a buckload of money into him just to sit on his ass and do absolutely nothing with that belt. Because that belt means absolutely nothing. Roman's sick, so no one's going to have that belt. So Brock will take it. Once again, prayers to Joe Aniwai for getting well, but this is freaking ridiculous. Oh, Heyman did a good job on the microphone, but once again, AJ Styles better win this Sunday. Thank God, again, we did not get Brock Lesnar versus Jinder Mahal last year. Thank God. But of course went over to 10 o'clock hour, so I'll check the live chat again to see what we got here. Let's see here. Did you hear Shane may win the WWE title and Nakamura and Orton versus Styles could be at Royal Rumble, which again wouldn't be a bad match at all. Or if Styles drops it could be for a title match, but if Styles does drop the title before Royal Rumble, or before WrestleMania, I think we could at least have Orton and Styles in a non-title match at WrestleMania. But either way, I think we will by WrestleMania get Orton versus Styles. Drew needs to be on his own. It's coming to that point. I've liked what they've done with him and Dolph, but I think over time they eventually should definitely split the two of them up. Send Drew to SmackDown. He'll be great. Oh, he's doing great on Raw right now, but I think he would definitely do great on SmackDown also. She's fine with also fit in Drew. Dolph is the weak link. Yeah, he's talented, but he deserves better. I agree. Drew has the looks of a perfect heel. Again, he's killing it. Big, strong looking, great on the microphone also. It's basically Sean and Diesel for the most part. Yeah. Kurt and Jordan, what's up with that? Check that if could Jordan be returning? I have heard rumors that Jordan actually might be able to be cleared soon to compete, which, hindsight, I know they were already teasing the return from around Money in the Bank, but I remember hearing last year that he was supposed to be out for like an entire year. So it's getting close to the time where he probably would be coming back. So again, I hope, I never hope for anybody not to come back. So I hope that, he at least gets healthy enough to come back, and we'll see what happens with Jason Jordan when he comes back. Because again, I think the guy is talented, but he just got thrown into a weird position, of course, last year with the whole thing of him being Kurt Angle's son. The problem was it was just a big letdown again with that. It was like they were hyping something that Kurt did something bad, and then he is revealed that Jason Jordan on SmackDown is his son. Well, Jordan came over to Raw, of course, because this. But I was like, okay, why was this such a big deal? It was one of those things, and his brand was split American Alpha too, which I didn't really like because I liked American Alpha. They're both bad though together. That Brock and Jinder segment, I couldn't. I changed the channel. It was bad as fuck. Again, the only good part about that was Michael Cole going, "Shanti, Brock, Shanti." Oh my goodness. Did you see whoever wins the mixed match challenge? They enter number 30 at the Rumble. I did not see that. All right, I guess it's something, but it's whatever. Cody says that unfortunately Jordan's career was pretty much killed when the whole that pretty much did kill Jordan's career. Braun does have a rematch. Ruby is good. As he was saying, Raw Tag Team Division is dead. Oh, it's beyond dead, pretty much, for sure. Didn't make sense having all three Lucha House Party members in there. Yeah, that is true. What gave the permission to use all three members in that battle royal? I do agree with that. Oh yeah, the Jinder again. We're past that nightmare. Jinder is back at Cairn once again. That part was just getting us a little teasing reminder that hey, we could have gotten Jinder Mahal and Brock Lesnar. Let me tell you something. If Brock Lesnar can only have a 3.5-minute match with Braun Strowman, a match with him and Jinder shouldn't have even lasted 10 seconds. I am dead serious on that. Jinder was nowhere close to being the Beastmaster, as he was calling himself. I am getting so glad we did not get that match. I'll give credit. The match that Brock had with Styles was good. It was probably Brock's last good match he has had, and he probably ever will have. Well, unless if him and AJ can top that off. But you know what? It's not going to be topped off unless AJ beats Brock on Sunday. It needs to happen. Then we have Lio Rush and Bobby Lashley in the ring, putting over Bobby Lashley's body and the most significant parts of it. Puts it over saying that Michelangelo couldn't imagine better. His generic makeup pure art. Rush then runs him through a number of muscle poses before taking out apparently the best pose or whatnot, something like that. This was literally the best pose.
I'll do that again. This was literally his best pose.
There's no doubt about it that Dean Ambrose's promo was not scripted. Part of the Braun Strowman's promo had been scripted. Who says, "I will neuter you"? And then you have Bobby Lashley pose by just randomly sticking his ass out towards the camera. Vince toilet humor right there. I wonder who wrote that segment. I wonder. Oh, I know. Oh, you didn't know? Where is it? I hate to be this immature. You know what happens when your body part is part of Vince's toilet humor? You know what happens when you literally just contaminate my image? Bobby Lashley's butt. You just made the list. Yeah, that's right. I had to put a butt on the list. I was just like, this isn't funny. That was just terrible. Bobby Lashley's a heel, and he gets booked like this. It just felt like that moment right there. Just felt like Sami Zayn, the feud with him and Sami Zayn all over again. God, this guy just can't catch a break this year. But then Elias comes out, pulls out his cell phone, and then he then says, "Hello, I am Elias. It's Child Protective Services." And he asks if Leo is a child that Lashley has kidnapped. And then pretty much saying how old you are, whatnot, which apparently Leo Rush turned 24 yesterday. So he is now the 24-year-old piece of gold rather than the 23-year-old piece of gold. Lashley then, of course, was wearing these ridiculous-looking sunglasses that just don't fit him at all. He's had enough. He dares Lashley to come down and says his little funny stuff to his face. Elias goes to the ring and says that Lashley sucks, which the crowd pops big time, and says he's going to shut the toddler's mouth up. But first, he plays a few bars on the guitar, and he asks who wants to walk with Elias. And then we have the match. The match was short, barely anything. And then Lashley and Elias were brought outside the ring. I'm like, are they going to do this by count out or whatnot? Well, Elias goes to enter back into the ring. Leo rushes hit underneath the ring. He holds Elias back from getting back in the ring. So Bobby Lashley wins by count out. Afterwards, Elias, goes to attack Leo Rush. But then Bobby Lashley gets involved. But then he breaks free and he throws Leo Rush into Bobby Lashley. Oh, and also forgot to mention, this match was to qualify for the last spot for the men's tag team. So the Raw men's tag team, well, with Corbin as captain, but he's not wrestling, we're having Dolph, Drew, Strowman, Balor, and Lashley. So not a bad five, I shall say, for Team Raw. Again, SmackDown's team of Mysterio, Bryan, Miz, Shane, and Joe. Not a bad team. I kind of appreciate it because last year, remember, Raw's team had Triple H and Kurt Angle, which okay, but again, it just felt like it was taken away from other people as well on the roster as well. It just I appreciate that they didn't, well, besides Shane, he didn't really throw any part timers in this match. They had a lot of fresh faces in it, which I do appreciate. So I actually think that this tag match, this 5-on-5 men's tag match, can be pretty good. Like, that's the only one I'd say I'm the most excited for. The tag team one, well, the tag team elimination match, I'm not going to watch it now because I'm not watching the freaking pre-show. So that's that. So again, that's not a bad setup. Then we have Alexa Bliss come out to the ring with Mickie James and Tamina and Nia Jax. Let's get to that in a second. She doesn't expect victory. She demands it. That's why she put together the most talented team in Survivor Series history. And by the way, also, I did hear the rumors of apparently Alexa Bliss having concussions and may have to retire. And if that's the case, that sucks, but we'll see what happens. But she put together her team, saying that if she sent Natalya, a key member of her team, home to focus her on her rage, she introduces the rest of her team, Mickie James, Nia Jax, hoping we can put our issues aside, and Tamina. But once again, she just says, I hope we can put our issues aside. And I'm like, okay, we're cool. Huh? You turn Nia Jax's face. She puts over the fact that, you can't be a bully and whatnot. A month later, she's bullying Ronda Rousey and that other talent, whatever, that talent she pretty much did that stuff on claiming that the armbar does nothing to her. When remember, earlier this year, you faced Asuka how many times? Oh, at least 3 times because you tapped out to her armbar. Not once, not twice, 3 times, lady. Those who watch Seinfeld know the reference I'm making. Well, of course, it probably didn't come from Seinfeld, but anyways, so yeah, that's just typical, stuff WWE does. Oh, she's a heel, so is Alexa. They're friends again. Huh? So that pissed me off. Then, again, so far we had the team up once again. Alexa was just cast, but she's not wrestling because apparently she has concussions. Mickie James, Nia Jax, Tamina, and Natalya. Why Nia Jax and Tamina? You can take those 2 out. I'm fine with Mickie James. I'm fine with Natty. Should have had Sasha and Bayley, but instead she has a little test of friendship. The final match to see who will qualify for the final spot for the Raw women's team for the Survivor Series Final 5 match. So it ends up being Sasha Banks versus Bayley. And I'm like, this could be interesting. Like, this could be, maybe whoever loses will turn heel, which could lead to, that the match we should have had at SummerSlam at least, or maybe at WrestleMania this year. I should have known that's way too much to ask for. Because they were putting on a pretty decent match. I mean, it didn't really get into the next gear yet or anything that I was hoping that it would get into. Of course. But then Nia Jax, Tamina, and Mickie James, they go into the ring in the middle of the match and just start attacking them for no reason. And Alexa was like, haha, we got you. Our 5th member is Ruby Riott. Which I'm like, okay, I'm fine with Ruby being in the match. But why waste our time with 2 women who should be the face of this division? Who should be the top feud, the big heaters of this division pretty much killing each other. Even if they wanted to feud with Ronda, God bless them. It's cool. Not having Nia Jax or Alexa Bliss be the only ones to face her, and not freaking Nikki Bella, a freaking diva main eventing a women's pay-per-view. We are going to be having the Raw Women's Survivor Series match without Sasha Banks and without Bayley, but yet you throw in Nia Jax and Tamina? Nia Jax, maybe I can forgive, even though, again, her character is inconsistent, but Tamina Snuka, the woman who literally repeated what Charlotte said on a promo last year. Yes, we will be talking about that promo on my special stream this week, by the way. The promo of really repeating, hey, Charlotte, shut up before you start looking like Ellsworth. And once again, as I say, the thing about that promo is it didn't sound like she's like trying to fire back, hey, Charlotte, maybe you should shut up before you start looking like Ellsworth. She acted like, oh, this was my line and I owned it. No, you can't, all due respect, Tamina, I'm sorry. You can't wrestle. You can't talk on a microphone. You put on a boring freaking match earlier to squash Ember Moon like you did. Talk about building up new talent. But you can't have not even Sasha or Bayley. You couldn't just have one of them. Just one of them. Again, Ruby Riott, cool. Natalya, Fine. Mickey James, fine. Not you chose Nia Jax and Tamina, which by the way, also, they must have said 4 or 5 times during that pathetic match earlier tonight between Tamina and Ember Moon that Ember Moon looked up to Nia growing up. What has Nia Jax done to make someone want to look up to them? Just because Nia Jax chose Ember Moon as her tag partner her first night on Raw. All of a sudden, oh, Ember Moon looked up to Nia Jax growing up. That's why she went over the moon, as you made her say months ago. You pathetic. Literally, that photo. Here, wait a minute. Wait 1 minute. Let me show you exactly what I was talking about. Let me see if I can find it. Refresh. Come on. Where is it? Where is it? Aha. 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 I found it. And I am going to share screen for 1 second. Even though, again, there was some stuff on this show I liked. But, what the hell? It should be right here. Let's see your share screen. Here we go. This is literally what I thought when I saw that one pro earlier tonight. See this? That's right. Well, wait, what? Okay, good. First, it was backwards. I'm about to put my computer on the list. Literally, a legitimate Raw superstar right here. That's right. Dean Ambrose, as a heel, is the entire show. And this is Raw Creative. Ta-da! I can prefer magic, everybody. Exactly. This is the crap we're getting all year from the women, especially on Raw. No one else is going anywhere unless your name is Ronda Rousey, which, again, I don't blame Ronda because, again, she's been given, rough talent to work with, such as, Alexa Bliss, which, I'm not the biggest Alexa Bliss hater either, but I do agree she gets way too many opportunities. And she's not really one of the best compared to the rest of them that should be getting opportunities. Nia Jax is just half-assed half the time. And Nikki Bella. Still, that one still pisses me off, especially you made the main event of a freaking women's pay-per-view. Well, like she's working with Becky Lynch right now, and she's doing great. This feud with her and Becky is awesome. I'm loving every segment, which we'll talk about actually in just a second here. But literally, unless you're any of those 3 names right there, well, 4 names, Ronda Rousey, Nikki Bella, Nia Jax, and Alexa Bliss, you had nothing to do this year on Raw. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And that's quite pathetic. That is just pathetic as hell. Let's get back on track here, of course, for a second. But anyway, but then let's talk about what was actually pretty good. Was actually pretty darn awesome, I will say. We cut backstage and we hear sounds of chaos. We cut into a room, one of the locker rooms, where we see none other than the man herself, Becky Lynch, putting Ronda Rousey in a disarmer. They're trying to break her off of her, but she does. And he does. And then Becky heads out to the ring to address the Raw women's team. She strides there with confidence and says this is her show. And then out from the crowd comes the rest of the SmackDown women, and we get an all-out brawl, which was freaking awesome. Although I did see a small video clip on Twitter. Apparently, Asuka forgot which way to go when running through the crowd, pretty much. They showed, which kind of made her look even more stupid with how bad they're booking her now. But so they come out and they start brawling. And even more people like Billy Kay, Peyton Royce, and Lana was there. Dana Brooke, of course, came out also. But somewhere in there, I don't know what happened, but Becky Lynch got her nose busted open again. Hopefully she didn't break it, and hopefully she's okay. But Becky's face was bleeding. Ronda came out, of course, to try to go after Becky. But Becky, who I thought was running away, I'm like, no, don't freaking do this. But she came back in with a steel chair and beat the hell out of Ronda with that steel chair. It was pretty savage. Then with the blood, it was awesome. SmackDown women, thank God, laid out the entire Raw women's roster, showing how crappy that division is. The other match, the two Survivor Series matches that I literally want to see Raw just absolutely squash, as should happen. Because Team Raw sucks. I'm sorry. I hate Team Raw. Well, maybe because Nia Jax and Tamina are part of it, and not Sasha Banks or Bayley. Not even Ember Moon. Not even Ember freaking Moon. Again, Ruby, I'm fine with. Natalia, okay. And Mickey, okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that. But Nia and Tamina, no. No. Heck no. But again, Becky just led stage and was just savage with this beatdown. Again, she was bloody, and it just made this just savage and everything. Of course, backstage, Stephanie is just just yelling at Corbin about this woman invading, telling him he's not doing a good job and clearly doesn't know anything. She demands a solution, and he promises to find a way, which probably means we'll see the men a Raw just invade SmackDown tomorrow night probably. There was one little nitpick though I have about this invasion angle we did tonight. One little nitpick though. Well, actually, it's not really a little nitpick, but it kind of does make sense. Why was Charlotte there? Is it a storyline there that Charlotte didn't want to accept the job as the SmackDown captain, and she didn't feel she was fit for Doc? She didn't even come out last week. We had Mandy come out instead, looking hot as always, I shall say. I mean, here's the thing: if they wanted to show that Charlotte, is going to accept, the position of being captain, they should have had her come out individually with her entrance. And I'm like, okay, I guess Charlotte's accepting, but no, she just shows up like nothing else is, like nothing ever happened. And her and Becky didn't even, they walked past her a couple times. It was like, hello, are you guys invisible to each other and whatnot? I felt that a little off. I would have liked to have maybe seen them not have Charlotte show up. Create that doubt that maybe Charlotte does not want to be a part of Team SmackDown. I didn't like how she showed up. It kind of threw that whole storyline out the window. Didn't quite make sense to me, but once again, Becky Lynch, despite not being a Raw superstar, her and Dean Ambrose stole the show tonight, of course, by far. With that great promo that Dean cut. And Becky Lynch again just being just the freaking badass she is. Again, book her like this, not a coward, and she is amazing. Anti-hero. Again, and plus two, as I keep saying, they're making it seem like that Becky Lynch is the underdog here. Apparently, Ronda Rousey, earned the spotlight, but has got all the spotlight, and Becky Lynch has had to scratch and crawl from the bottom. Literally, it feels like Becky is more of the babyface here than Ronda. I'm serious. That's what it feels like, but we're supposed to believe Becky's the heel. But once again, as I keep saying, don't book Becky like a coward. Don't have her bash the fans. And I'm cool. I am completely cool with it. But Becky's trying to be a Raw superstar. She stole this show tonight. That badass look with the blood on her face. Damn, did she steal it. Although, Becky, I need to say one thing. I know that you say you are the man. I know you and Seth Rollins are arguing on Twitter on who really is the man. And you can be the man. So can Seth Rollins. But just remember one thing. I am not the man. I am the man here on YouTube. I am the man on YouTube here. And I rule Twitter on YouTube or whatnot. Just kidding. But I had to fire a quick little shot at Becky just for the fun of it. But I am not the man. I am the man, pretty much. But that's how we ended Raw, with a pretty good invasion. With the exception that I kind of wish Charlotte didn't show up, because continue on the storyline here about how she has doubts about being the captain and whatnot. They even said it when they showed the Survivor Series card that will Charlotte accept it, and she was just there. They didn't give her a little single entrance whatnot. Again, you could get one or two things: left her off this angle, or have her just show up. Just have start brawling, and her music hits, and she comes out showing that, hey, I accept this and whatnot. But that's how we went off the air. So let's get to the two polls here before I check the live chat one more time. 8 votes for what grade would you give this episode of Raw. 25% said A, 63% said B, 13% said C, and to actually a shocker, for the first time I could say, with a reasonable amount of votes, of course, nobody said D or lower, which I wouldn't have said that grade. Again, I actually thought some stuff on this episode was good, but some stuff, yeah. But my second poll 13 votes on it. What do you guys think of this? With how good the hype has been for the match, should Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey main event Survivor Series? Not Brock Lesnar or AJ Styles. I mean, I guess I could see, of course, the men's 5-on-5 match is probably going to be the main event. But personally, with the hype and how great it's been, I think Ronda and Becky deserve to be the main event of Survivor Series. I am not even joking. And it's not because of Ronda, which, Ronda's done great in this build. I'll give Ronda the credit. Becky, though, has been right on key this entire time. I really think this match needs to be the main event of Survivor Series. And I had 13 votes on that on Twitter. They all said yes. That's what they all said, yes. And I agree. I don't know what you guys think, but I'll check the live chat here shortly. Let's see what we got here. Live chat here. Let's see where we were at. Right here. Lashley looked like a fool tonight. Oh, yeah, he did. He did. Well, Lashley looked like a fool, of course, showing off his butt. The best pose or favorite pose or whatnot. Give me a break. Get Brock, Leo, and Jinder off our screens. Again, Leo in the ring as a wrestler, cool. But again, don't have him going, Lashley, Lashley. I mean, again, obviously you need someone on the microphone for Bobby Lashley. He's not great on the microphone, but an annoying hype man, I definitely agree. But not completely lost. So yeah, take Jinder and Brock off our screen. Bobby Lashley's body made the list. His ass did. The Raw Tag Team Division there made the list. And what was the point of having Sasha and Bayley? Again, that pissed me off too. The fact that they had a match and then they just make it pointless just to introduce Ruby Riott. I'm like, up yours, WWE. Well, I'm going to round that again. And Nia and Tamina just made the list. Oh, I think they already did. What's up, Elite Squad? Apparently, Nia busted Becky's nose. Ouch. And Becky and Dean were the best parts of Raw for sure. Stephanie needs to fire Corbin on Sunday. Sure. And Strowman needs to get the Universal Championship. I agree. Nope, Kurt is not in the match. And the SmackDown Live Superstar stole the show, and it's a Raw show. That is kind of sad, but yeah. SmackDown is the true A show, and then Raw's men's team is Finn Balor, Bobby Lashley, Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, which, again, I think it's a solid team. Like, again, I like the 5-on-5 men's teams for Raw and SmackDown. I'm okay with SmackDown's women's team, but I hate Raw's women's team. And the tag match, oh crap, again, so glad they put that on the pre-show, which, again, also, I need to look at the listing. I'm very curious. Actually, let me look it up right now really quick. Let me go on to Smark Out moment and see which teams are in it. Smark Out moment, because I usually look at his stuff for, certain things. Let's click. Let's see here. Where is it? Come on, where is it? Come on. He does not have it listed here unless I missed it. He doesn't have them listed there. It's I'm sorry, he does. Apparently it's Team Too Happy, Rude and Gable, The Ascension, the B Team, Lucha House Party, and the Revival. No Heath Slater and Rhino. Which, okay, it makes sense, but then why were Heath Slater and Rhino in this match? Like, why were they there? I mean, I don't know if I can't remember if Rhino was there. I remember seeing Heath get eliminated, but I don't know how they did determine that. But yeah. Did you hear the storyline going forward could be a superstar traitor to a show? No, I did not hear that. Apparently, the story was scrapped. Charlotte being there made zero sense since she's not even in the match. Confirmed for sure. Even the Raw crowd was for Becky. But yeah, I hope Becky's okay as well. Nice round on the women's team. I'm Team SmackDown all the way. Oh, for sure. Team SmackDown, baby blue. I'm wearing blue this Sunday. I'm not wearing any color, any pinch of red. The original idea for tonight's show was that there was going to be an invasion from SmackDown to Raw. One of SmackDown stars were supposed to snitch and tell a Raw superstar, and then the star would tell everyone and alert them about it. I wonder who that was going to be. She gave Raw a C. Elite Squad gave it a C-. Said no, probably to the idea of to the Ronda and Becky match. Lawrence says it should be the main event. Ali and Murphy deserve a main event spot. Honestly, again, they would. I mean, I'm not opposed to that as well. I mean, I doubt they would do that, but I won't be opposed to Murphy and Ali being a main event of a pay-per-view someday. Good stream, Tyler. See you tomorrow for SmackDown Live. See you then, Lauren. Their match hasn't had that much hype. I mean, true, but again, I think the promos they've had been pretty good, like setting the stage and everything for it. That's why I was saying. We got SmackDown's men's team is badass. We got Joe, who is a true badass for sure. Ali and Murphy is on the main card. Again, the 10-on-10 elimination match is on the pre-show, which thank goodness. Cody says it should be, which yeah, it is. And Slater and Rhino are greater than the Ascension. At this point, I don't really care about either team at this point. I mean, they made me care about Heath Slater and Rhino when they were on SmackDown, but then, yeah, that is jobbers. Although I did hear a rumor about a year or two ago that apparently Rhino has been involved with, like, politics with something, like some political position with in Michigan or something like that. So that might be why, of course, that team's been lacking. But that's poor Heath. And he's got kids, guys, remember. Heath's got kids. But I think that'll be, I mean, I know Elite Squad doesn't think so, but again, that's his opinion, his or her opinion. That's completely fine. Doesn't think so. But I personally think that Becky and Ronda should be considered for the main event of Survivor Series. Again, if it's a men's, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the men's 5-on-5 elimination match. Which again, I'm fine with that as well, because I do think both teams are pretty stacked. Of course, I do not want it to be Brock and AJ. I'll let it be Brock and AJ if AJ wins. I'll forgive it. But Brock doesn't deserve another main event spot. He doesn't. He doesn't need to be. He wasn't the main event of Crown Jewel. Once again, I didn't give a shit about Crown Jewel. But yeah, finally the cruiserweights are on the main card. Yeah, it's actually on an actual pay-per-view, not a more of like a network special like Super Showdown, which disappointed me in my opinion. I think Ronda and Becky should co-main event, which okay, yeah, good deal there. But yeah, I think he's not hyped about Lesnar versus Styles again. I only care about that match if AJ's going to win. Other than that, I don't care. I would have been fine with AJ and Braun. And even if Roman didn't get sick, I would have been all in for Roman Reigns and AJ Styles. Again, they had great matches together in 2016. This is a more improved AJ Styles. They could put on a classic. I'm dead serious. I would have loved to have seen that match. I just wish also that they would have had something else on line besides bragging rights. I mean, yeah, I know, Braun Strowman has to behave himself to get all that stuff he wanted. But, so they could have something else for the winning brand besides, oh, you're the superior brand. Once again, maybe the winning brand should get, the main event of WrestleMania. Or, get a couple different spots in the Royal Rumble match or something like that. I don't know. It doesn't, I don't understand why they can't just do it a little bit more besides just bragging rights. But we'll talk about that more, of course, this coming week. Probably maybe Wednesday or Thursday night. But guys, thank you again for joining me live for my live review of Monday Night Raw. I will give this nice episode of Raw be a little lenient, a B-, because there was some stuff on the show that I actually did enjoy. Could have been better, yeah, there was some stuff that was trash, but I still enjoyed a good amount of this show to give it a B-. I also felt that the overrun being eliminated was very refreshing. So B- for Raw tonight. Not a bad show. What grade would you give Monday Night Raw? Leave us down in the comment section below. And be sure as always to click my like and subscribe or come to my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAirBunny3. Before I go off the air, let me just go over the schedule this week. Tomorrow's SmackDown Live review. Wednesday will be for sure the trifecta of NXT UK, 205 Live, and NXT, of course. And then probably after that, I will do my preview predictions for NXT TakeOver War Games 2. I will do my prediction for Survivor Series Thursday during the day. Thursday night will be my special live stream, which will be top 10 promos / segments of all time. Best and worst we will do. And then Saturday, I will do my live review of NXT TakeOver War Games 2, but it will probably be late because I do have to work on Saturday. But once again, I won't be that far away from home, so I should be home in a better time than it was last TakeOver. So I'll catch Takeover War Games 2, and then I will review it right afterwards. And then Sunday's Survivor Series. I'm not sure yet what I'm doing for Survivor Series. I'm not sure if I'm watching it with any friends or if I'm just watching it alone. If I'm watching it here alone, maybe I'll do a couple live reactions of a couple matches, maybe. We'll see what happens, of course, but I will keep you guys informed as the week goes on. And also stay tuned also for my video game Let's Plays of Hitler at the Ninth Gate, Backyard Baseball 2003, and as well as my Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone Let's Play as well. But I won't be able to do it anymore tonight because I have to get up early at a decent time tomorrow for a new hire event, because I am going to be working a seasonal job a side job over the holidays. Just over the holidays though, to make some extra cash. So in case I get a little busy and some stuff gets delayed, I apologize ahead of time, but I make some extra money here, guys. But thank you guys again to Cody, the Elite Squad, Lauren, for joining me live for this live review. Nothing really else in the live chat. But again, slap a like on the video, guys. Click that like and subscribe button. You may follow me on Twitter as well at DemandAirBody3. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night for my SmackDown live reviews. So until then, guys, have a great night. Take care, everybody. And peace out, everybody.